everyone, it's Shelf from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. Today's day 23 of the 2025 Countdown to Christmas series with Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations. Today our technique was to use washi tape. We're going to be using some dies from Hero Arts. It's one that I just recently got. It's this gingerbread peeking man. I was surprised how big the die set was. I have a couple of the other ones and I feel like they're a lot smaller. So this one is a very good size die set. So for the washi tape, I went through my stash and I didn't have a ton of Christmassy washi. So I found these glitter ones and I'm going to count them as washi. You may think this is cheating a little bit, but they're on a roll like washi. They stick to the paper and they are easily removable like washi, so I'm going to count it. So the first thing that I did was I picked 3 colors from my stash, and so there's a blue, a teal, and a pink. I'm going to put it down on some copy paper and then run it through my bitty buzz cutter with the lollipop die. So we cut out a multicolored lollipop. Now I kind of like the way this came out. I like that there's different colors in it, but I didn't love the stripes across it. I think that if I tried a multicolored one again, I would try to put down little pieces of tape all over the place so that there would be different colors in different areas, like one of those big lollipops. So I'm going to try it again with 2 different colors of washi tape. We're going to do an all pink one and an all green one. So I love pink and teal for the holidays. So it's just been like one of my go-to color combinations for the past couple of years. So this washi definitely works with that. So I'm going to cut out the very first lollipop and I like the way that looks. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the teal washi and run that through my bitty buzz cutter as well. I had already run the bottom half of the lollipop through the machine with some cream colored cardstock for the stick of the lollipop. You're actually not going to really even be able to see much of it once I put the whole card together, but I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do this. Then I'm going to put all of the pieces aside and we are going to work on the gingerbread man. I used a piece of craft cardstock to cut him out, and I am going to be using some Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo to go around the edges to kind of make them a little bit more defined and give them a little bit of a shadow. And then I'm also going to use Scorched Timber in some of the areas where there would be the most shadow, like underneath his arm, any place where he's up against whatever he's peeking out from. And then I'm going to use the Vintage Photo to go over the color and smooth it out a little bit because it was kind of a harsh line. So I wasn't really sure what I wanted him to be peeking out from. I was thinking about a Christmas tree, but then I realized I couldn't find anything that was the appropriate size for this die. So I thought, how about a present? I thought that would be really cute, and then to have the lollipops popping out of it. I had an idea in my mind and I saw the card a different way, and then I changed my mind when I realized I couldn't find anything that would allow me to create the card the way that I originally had it envisioned. And then it just kind of started coming together with the exception of the colors. So because I used pink and teal for the lollipops, I thought maybe these white gems would look good for his buttons, but then I saw these red ones and I was like, no, I like those. So I wasn't sure because it wasn't traditional Christmas colors and I was trying to figure out how to tie them in, but I do eventually tie them in with the present. So my camera did die again, and I did cut out 3 little peppermints. I also did cut out a silver lollipop, and I was able to cut out the rings. So from one silver lollipop, I got the rings for both of these lollipops. So while you're watching me assemble them, I thought I would talk to you a little bit about this series. So Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations and I have been doing this for 3 years. We have come up with 25 different themes, techniques, ideas, stamp sets, etc. And we put them into a randomizer and drop videos every Monday and Friday, or I try to as close to that as possible. But now that school is over and work has gotten to be a little bit more normal, these other videos should go up on time. So I will leave a link to Marie's channel in the more information section because she has playlists for the 3 years that we've done this series. And she is also doing a giveaway, so you want to make sure that you go over and check out her videos. She and I have completely different crafting styles, so it's so much fun to see the same prompt done by an artist have a totally different take on it than what you did. So I love watching her videos, and we've been kind of crazy this year, especially me. So we haven't really been sharing our projects. So I usually see them when her videos go up. So excited to see what she makes for this one with the washi tape. I think this was her, could have been her suggestion. I don't know. I don't remember anymore. But make sure you go over and check that out. So back to the video, we use some Nuvo drops to add the black to the eyes and the mouth, and then a little bit of white to add the icing. I'm going to let that dry, and we're going to work on the present part. So I found this foil paper, which tied in the red on his buttons. So I thought that having it in 2 places, 3 kind of if you count the lid, would make it kind of more cohesive. So I'm also using that blue washi tape as the ribbon for the present, and we're actually also going to create a bow with it, which took me a little bit longer than I care to admit to figure it out. I realized after I put the lid on, I was like, this is not close to even being even. So I do end up adjusting that. I also do end up cutting the lid down a little bit because it was a little bit too wide for the package. I do like the way that it sticks over the edges a little bit because that looks a little bit more realistic. I'm going to go ahead and add the top on to the little ribbon that goes on the top of it. I originally wanted to do a bow on the top of the lid, like how you just tie a bow on top, but it didn't work out that way. We're actually going to put the bow in the middle, and that's just the way that, it turned out fine. I had a lot of fun trying to figure out how to make this bow and how to make the loops not stick to each other. So you'll see that in a minute. So we're going to get ready to glue all of the pieces in place. I'm just making sure that when I glue the lollipops on, he's not going to be covering up too much of it with his head. I want to make sure that the lollipops are at least taller than him so that he can, that he's not blocking any of them. So I don't know why, but the pieces were just not sticking on this. They were just not coming together. I put them together one way, and then when I dry fit them together one way, and then when I went to glue them on, I did it in a different way. So I don't know what the heck was going on with this card. It did take me a little bit longer than I expected to do this card. I thought it was going to be something that was a little bit easier, but I should know better that nothing really ever is easy when I create something. So I'm using my Barely Arts glue to attach those little peppermint pieces to the back. I actually tried to use them as polka dots on the packaging, but it didn't look right because there was only 3 of them. So here's how I made the bow. I took 2 pieces and then stuck the ends together and then tried to fluff them up. But then what I realized was because it was sticky on the inside, they would just keep collapsing. So there's 2 things that you could do. One is what I did was you can use the leftover plastic from the roll to cover everything but the very ends and then stick the ends together. Or what you could do is use some light kaolin clay or the embossing powder to go ahead and remove the stickiness from the inside like you would when you're doing a shaker card. So the 2 different ways that you could do that. I'm pretty sure that there's probably other ways, but those are the 2 ways that I can think of to go ahead and make the loops so that they don't stick together. So I did that for both sides, and then I took a piece of washi tape and wrapped it around the middle. And then I tried to glue it down, but gluing glitter to glitter, especially that it's a little bit of a heavier bow, it just did not work. So I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to try to hold it in place till the glue dries. Spoiler alert, it did not work. So we're going to have to go to plan B. The gingerbread man also did not want to get glued down to the present. So again, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if I wasn't using enough glue or just because there was a lot of glitter in this, it just didn't want to attach. Plus, the foil paper is also a little slippery. So I probably didn't put enough glue on the gingerbread man, but I am going to put that to the side to dry for a minute. And then, actually I'm going to be using the foam tape that was left on my desk. I had a little piece and I just figured, let me cut that up because I know that that will stick to the glitter cardstock. And then I realize when I move the piece that the gingerbread man is just not sticking, he's just sliding around. But we're going to work on the card base now. It is 10 by 7 inches, and then we scored it at 5, so it's a 5 by 7 card. The piece of pattern paper is from a Hobby Lobby pack, and it's non-traditional Christmas colors. It's like the mint green, the pink, there is some baby blue in there, so a little bit more pastel-y. I don't know if this actually goes. I want to hear your opinions on it. I was trying to find something that would coordinate, pull all the colors together. Couldn't really find anything, but I think this paper goes. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think it goes? Do you think I should have used a solid color cardstock and like maybe just run it through with an embossing folder? Or should I have just used some, like a background stamp or done a scene in the background? Let me know what you would have done. So I'm using the Bearly Arts glue to attach everything to the card base, and then that is the card for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below, and I will see you again soon for another video. Bye!